Hello, my stamping friends. This is Renae Novak at BlessedByCards.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, and I'm here today to share with you the Hello Harvest bundle. This stamp set has a variety of different fall items in here that we're going to use to create this fall-friendly card. And along with the stamp set, there are these wonderful dies. These are little sprigs, if you will, to make come off of your pumpkin. And there's also a banner that goes there. There's a pumpkin stem, and then there's these fancy dies that you can create a pumpkin, and here's your stem for creating that pumpkin. I'm going to show you a card that uses this and these a little bit later in the video. Make this card together, and then I'm going to share with you 3 other cards that I created using this bundle. So let's get started. So the first thing you're going to need is a piece of vanilla cardstock for your card base, and a second piece of vanilla cardstock that measures 4 by 5 1/4 and will fit right on top of that card base. All of the measurements that I'm using and all the supplies that I have will be available in a PDF download for today's projects. So to this piece of 4 by 5 1/4 inch very vanilla, I added a strip of old olive and a tiny little strip of Cajun craze. And that's where we're going to build our pumpkin. So I've already pre-stamped the pumpkin, but I'm going to share with you how I colored it in with the blends. And I used the Cajun craze, the light and the dark, and the pumpkin pie in order to create the pumpkin. Now I'm not going to color in the stem because it's going to be covered up with the flowers. So I'm starting off with the light Cajun craze Stampin' Blend marker, and I'm just going in right along these darker lines, these little accent pieces, and I'm just going to come in and just color a little bit of dark on there with the light Cajun craze. And then I'm just going to add just real quickly. And then you can add more to make it a little darker definition, depending on what you want to do. That's the light Cajun craze. And then I am going to take the light pumpkin and come in with the light pumpkin right on top, blending a little bit of that. And I'm just going to quickly do this so that you can see what I'm talking about. And then you're going to come in with the darker pumpkin pie, and you're going to blend all of those, and you're going to leave some of that light showing through the light pumpkin to give it some definition. And I'm going to bring in the one that I already pre-colored so that you wouldn't have to wait the entire time for my blending of the markers. And of course I said I wasn't going to color the stem, but on this one I forgot and colored it anyway. But we are going to cover it up. So if you're doing this, you don't need to color your stem. But this is how you get the blend of colors. So there's the pumpkin, and let me bring in, I already pre-colored our little flower spray, and I did some smaller flowers as well, because I figured once you've seen a little bit of the blends, you would know how to color in the blends. And I really didn't use the light and the dark blending because these are so tiny that I just colored them directly. The only thing I blended was I did the center of the flower with the light Cajun craze, and then I went around it with a dark pumpkin pie to kind of blend my Daffodil Delight. And then the leaves are old olive. So those are the colors that I used on that. So let's go ahead and build our card. I'm going to just take my snail adhesive here and put that right on top of here to build that up. And then I'm going to add some adhesive on my pumpkin. Stick that right here. And then we're going to, I already put my Stampin' Dimensionals on the back, so we're just going to peel off those sticker pieces. And then I'm going to stick that right on top of that pumpkin, so you'll see why you don't need to color your stem. This is going to go right on top of there. And then I'm going to take one of the flowers that I pre-colored, and I'm going to pull that Stampin' Dimensional off. And then I'm going to just kind of tuck this one up here underneath here to give it a little added flower right there. And as I said before, though, the bundle part comes with these adorable little sprigs that you can use to add more to your pumpkin if you want. And I'm going to show you a card in a minute that uses those fancy little pieces of greenery for the pumpkin. And so I chose this time just to, you know, go with just the plain pumpkin. So I'm just going to add a few of these little flowers right down here. This is a stinking cute set that I know is going to quickly become one of my fall favorites. So let me go ahead and bring in the Early Espresso ink and the Hello stamp from the bundle. And I'm just going to sauce that up, and we're just going to stamp it down, and hopefully it'll be straight. I'm going to stamp that right on there, and there you have just a sweet little hello card for a festive fall look. Okay, so let me bring in some of the other card samples that I created using this bundle. Here's one here, and this is using some of the leaves from the other Halloween or the other fall bundle that we have this year, and that's the Fond of Autumn. These are the leaves and the die from Fond of Autumn, and I did that in Cajun Craze, Old Olive, and Garden Green. And then I colored the pumpkin again with the blends, and I just kind of made a smaller frame for the vanilla on the Cajun Craze, and this is Garden Green. And then I did the You're Such a Blessing stamp from the bundle, and I popped that up on 2 dimensionals. So that's a similar pumpkin to the one we just created, but a little bit different. Here's one that I created using the other dies that are in the bundle, and these are those fancy pumpkin dies. Let me just quickly pull those out and share with you this one and the other one that I created the pumpkin with. So hopefully you can see that there are 2 pieces here. The big one, and then there's another piece that you can do to create your 3D pumpkin look. And you can also put those on dimensionals to get it an even further dimensional. So I added some of the leaves from the set, and I stamped in Old Olive, and then I stamped again so that I got a lighter look. And this is the little pumpkin stem that is also part of the bundle, and these are those fancy little sprigs that I was telling you about that you can decorate your pumpkin. So you could put some of those coming off of this card that we just created. That would look nice too. And again, You're Such a Blessing. I popped that up with Stampin' Dimensionals. And those are 3 fall cards. And let me share with you one more card that I created using this bundle. And this is with this particular flowers. I did that several times, cut them apart, and then kind of layered them together. And then this is the banner from that same bundle. So you could also, you know, add a little bit more color if you wanted to for these. I did not originally, but I can pull it out now because this is the light pumpkin, and I want that Cajun craze to give it that center look. So you just bring those in and look at how it makes that pop. So you really can do a lot with these blend markers. I love our alcohol markers, how they coordinate with our paper. And it's just so easy, as you can see how I did that so quickly. And again, if you want to bring that dark pumpkin in, this is the dark, sorry, that's the Cajun Craze. This is the dark, sorry, they all look the same, don't they? Okay, here's the dark pumpkin pie. It's a little more orange. And I just took the fat side of that and went around to blend in those colors and make that center stand out a little bit more. And that's kind of how I did it on the previous one. And then, so you can see that it just kind of blends those colors together. And it's super fast, super easy. So there you have it. That's that. So those are the 4 cards that I've created today for our Make It Monday tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, give me a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future videos. So stop back next Monday for another Make It Monday. Until then, be blessed.